How's it going, my little pog champs? I just wanted to discuss an issue real quick that a lot of people have taken account to for Inazuma. A lot of people they're enjoying the puzzles and all that, of course, but a lot of people are noticing that they haven't specifically said this in the patch notes or anything, but the enemies are tankier, and it feels like they're hitting harder than what they did in Leeway and Mondstadt. And I wanted to discuss why that is such a good thing, but also a bad thing for future content. So I'm not going to beat around the bush at all. Let's just go right into it, as popular YouTubers like to say. So the reason that I believe that it's a good thing is because it gives you something to strive for. We have the Spiral Abyss, but that's like, if you can't do it, then you have to grind until you pray to God, get a good drop to finally make your character not dog shit. See, that's not enjoyable. Doing the same dungeon over and over again, trying to get a good drop so you can do one more star better on the Spiral Abyss. Now, where Inazuma comes in is once you reach level 30 and you get into there, adventure rank level 30 and you get into there, you're probably going to get slapped around by those samurais, the new enemy type. And when that happens, it makes you think like, I need to level up and stuff and grind, but you can still continue to do that stuff and get primo gems and find more chests and be able to continue exploring the islands. But it's just harder for you. And while you're exploring and finding, you're going to be doing domains and stuff while you're exploring, and you're going to be leveling up while you do all these things, you're going to be able to visually see yourself improving because of the things that you got while in Inazuma or while doing a domain. Like, the Spiral Abyss is good and all, but it takes a minute before you actually see the improvement, because you're not in the Spiral Abyss while you're getting, the stuff for it, while you're leveling up and all that. You're not in the Spiral Abyss. You only do that whenever you feel like it. And you can try it a bunch of times, but you don't always do that. Well, but since Inazuma is a new island, you're obviously going to want to continue exploring it and getting all those chests and quests and all that. So you're there doing stuff while you're leveling up everything, and you'll be able to visually see just your improvement, which is a really nice thing to have. Another good thing is it allows you to be able to strive for something. So maybe something's really hard in Inazuma. It's kind of like the Spiral Abyss in this sense. These two go together really well. It gives you something to strive for. It's just this is something that's a lower tier to strive for than the Spiral Abyss. So let's say you're not even on the endless part of the Spiral Abyss, which is just floors 9 through 12. Then here you can actually go to Inazuma and see you'll be able to strive for being able to kill stuff in Inazuma easier before even getting to the hard part of the Spiral Abyss, because you can't get to that part yet. A good way to look to this is that Inazuma is a bunch of smaller steps to showing improvement, and the Spiral Abyss is a lot of higher steps. So it takes more to get to that second step. You have to lift your leg higher, but because of that, you won't see improvement until you get your leg that high and you actually step up and your body moves up with it. While Inazuma, it's like, I killed this guy a little bit faster, I didn't take any damage this fight, I'm learning his movement skills and stuff, which is another point we can go into. Inazuma, they're throwing a bunch of new enemy types at you that you have to learn their movement and how to dodge their attacks and their attack patterns and all that, and what attacks are invulnerable to stunning. And because of that, that's another place that actually shows our improvement. So you finally learned the timing for whenever the samurai sheathes the sword and dashes at you, and you're able to time that like that perfectly. Well, that feels nice. It feels really good, and that's how the game should be. It should punish you for not being able to do something but also rewards you whenever you're able to do it. So if you go to some place like Leeway or Mondstadt, you get hit by an attack, it's like, I don't give a shit. I throw out my Bennett ult and I'll heal it up in a second. But while you're in Inazuma, you switch to Bennett and Bennett gets one shot before you can put the ult down, or they'll chunk you through the ult. There's no guarantee you won't die while in it, which is extremely rare for something like that to happen in the old places that we were getting. Now let's go over a couple of the bad things. The bad things about this is that our characters, they don't like to buff them. They buff 5 stars right before they release, and that's it. That's the best that we get, is they buff them before release, and that's it. Now, we did get a Zhongli buff. I think that was the only one that they buffed after they were released. And that was just because people got pissed. And that's it. It's just because they were trying to appease a bunch of angry people. But they're not going to do that for 4 stars. Just look at Amber. Have they touched Amber since release? A girl whose Baron Bunny scales off of fucking HP and she's a damage dealer. Like, are you kidding me? No, they haven't. They forgot that girl even exists. I bet whenever they go to Comic-Cons to gauge the cosplayers, they're like, okay, next. They have Amber stand up and walk to the front, and they're like, I said next, come on. And then they wave her off. The people wave her off, they throw her into the trash can where she deserves, and then they get the fucking other person, the big titty mommy coming up the stage. They're like 10 out of 10, baby. But oh, where was I? Oh, I got on such a tangent. Yeah, the bad thing is that since they don't buff anyone, if they continuously release islands that are harder and harder, which I hope they do, but that will also mean that people that came out earlier in the game's lifespan, can't talk, they will be weaker. And it'll get so inflated that it's not even worth running them anymore. And the only way to get around this is if they, in the future, actually decide to buff people. Now, I'm not talking about, I don't want no Gone You looking ass buff, where they went from a fair game to fucking the moon. And yes, I mean fucking the moon. Not to the moon. I meant they are sexually harassing the moon. And so if they decide to start doing that and actually improve it just a tad bit, just like a dropper, just to where it's still hard with those characters equipped, it's just usable, then I think that Genshin Impact will be in an amazing state. Now, will they do this? Probably not. They'll probably forget about it, you know. They keep releasing 4 stars, maybe even at a faster rate, you know. We're gonna have banners like a year from now that are gonna have none of the old characters from it. And then we're gonna have banners like, oh my god, there's this crazy 4-star that everyone needed, like Sucrose. They're gonna have a Sucrose on the banner, but everyone's gonna be like, yeah, just use Ling Fei. She's a way better Sucrose. She's like Sucrose's older sister. And then you're not gonna want to roll on that banner. If you get Sucrose, it's gonna be like, garbage Sucrose. I can't wait to not use you anymore. They're already showing that off with Kazuha, but luckily Kazuha is a 5-star, so he should be better than Sucrose, since that's, you know, star better. Anyway, I just wanted to give my thoughts and stuff about this patch, the Inazuma patch, and the difficulty scaling that we're getting right now. It's also really nice that a couple patches ago, they're allowing you to lower the difficulty if it's too hard, which is also a nice touch. In case you just want to explore Inazuma and not worry about having to learn any moves, you just want to turn off your brain and get some free premo jams. But I don't want to ramble on too long, so thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, comment below if you think it's too hard or what you think they need a buff or nerf in the future. Well, not nerf, but just buff in the future. Anyway, Johnny!